I'm Mandy Feuerbacher. I'm a former U.S. visa officer and licensed immigration attorney, and today I want to talk to you about something very serious. More F-1 visas are being denied to students than ever before. The State Department recently released information that showed that in 2023 alone, more than 253,000 students from around the world were denied their F-1 visas for wanting to come study in the United States. That's 36%. 36%. That is a staggering number. It means that more than one in every three students will have a problem getting their F-1 visa approved at a US embassy or consulate. And this means that if you're a student wanting to come to the US to study, you have to change your strategy. I know so many students who think, you know what, I speak some English. I know friends who got approved with no problems. I'm just going to go into my interview without even thinking about it. I'm just going to answer questions from the visa officer. Well, the numbers released by the State Department, the agency that actually manages the US visa process, is telling you something different. It is telling you that the numbers are stacked against you. So you have to prepare. You can't just not take this process seriously because there's over a third of students who have to make different plans in a scramble because they're not able to get their F-1 visas approved. So here's a few very important things to know about the F-1 visa interview. First of all, it can be really fast. It's a fast interview, especially if you're applying in a busy country like India or China. You may only have 30 seconds to talk to the officer, 30 seconds to share with the visa officer what school you chose and why, how are you paying for your tuition, what do you plan to do in the future with this degree, why this school, why the US, so many questions floating around in the mind of the visa officer. Not to mention, if you have family in the US, that creates an additional complication. If you have a pending green card, that can be a problem. So many hidden landmines in this 30-second interview. So, as I always tell international students, just because it's a quick interview doesn't mean that it's not important and that you shouldn't prepare. In fact, because it's so short, you have to be ready because every single word that you say, every second that you have counts. The second thing that you need to know is that once you get denied a visa, it goes into your permanent record. Okay, every single visa interview that you have at a US embassy or consulate, there is a record taken of what happens at the interview by the visa officer. And so once you get that first denial, it becomes a red flag in your future visa interviews, whether it's for another F-1 visa or whether it's for a different type of visa in the future, like applying for an H-1B or applying for a green card or applying for any other type of visa. Your visa record, regardless of what visa type and where you apply, is contained in the same record and it lasts forever. Guys, I can't tell you how many people Travis and I work with that are paying thousands of dollars because their visa was denied and now they have a big problem on their hands and they're reaching out to experts like us to help them. The problem is that once you get a certain number of visa denials, it becomes harder and harder to get your visa approved. So this should not be a process that you just go into, doing the same things over and over again, even though you're not understanding why you're denied. If you get a visa denial, you should immediately look for a solution to the problem. Okay, and this is why my partner Travis and I have created this comprehensive F-1 coaching course. Okay, it is an online course specifically for F-1 student visa applicants to teach you the foundations that you need to know for the F-1 visa interview. What is the officer thinking about? What are the factors that they're considering? What can sway their decision one way or the other? How do you answer those questions? How do you be concise and compelling at the same time? What should you do if you've been denied a visa before? Well, I can tell you the first thing that you should do is take our F-1 visa online course because we spend over 4 hours talking to you about how to succeed at your visa interview. This is not just one 30-minute session, which is not even enough time to get into the foundations of how these decisions are being made. It is 4 hours of video lessons filmed by myself or Travis telling you how to fill out your DS 160 correctly and avoid common mistakes, how to master the 30 seconds you have at your visa interview so that you don't waste any time and you are helping the visa officer make a decision in your favor, and giving you good and bad examples of, what a visa interview should look like, right? I do a whole bunch of examples of, okay, like this is what a good interview looks like, and this is what a bad interview looks like, so that you can actually not only understand our guidance and instructions, but see it being put into action. Okay, this is the best and most comprehensive online course out there for students applying for F-1 visas wanting to come to the United States. And it is so important that you do it right from the beginning. So whether you're someone applying for an F-1 visa for the very first time, or if you're someone who has been denied already, consider this online course a investment in your future. It is something that is so important in helping you understand exactly what's going on behind that visa window, how visa officers are making these decisions, so that you can prepare and be your most authentic self while also being really concise and compelling and helping the visa officer make their work easier because you're prepared and you know what information they're looking for, and you know how to be truthful, and you know how to answer those pesky questions about financing, how you're paying for your tuition, how to talk about student loans, how to talk about pending green card applications, how to talk about family members that you have in the US, and how to frame the situation properly so that you're not wasting any time and giving the visa officer the impression that you haven't prepared at all and that you're just going in there and winging it, because you don't want to be one of those 36% of students that's going to have trouble getting their F-1 visas approved. So do yourself a favor. Think about this 200 something dollar course as an investment in your future, because you don't want to be one of those students who has been denied 3 or 4 times and coming to us and having to spend, hundreds and thousands of dollars getting legal help, trying to get these decisions turned around. At that point, sometimes not even the experts can help you. You need to do it right from the very beginning. You need to take this online course, whether it's your first time applying or your third attempt or your fourth attempt, so that you know what a good visa interview looks like, so that you're doing yourself a favor and not being put on the defensive and trying to come up with delayed plans and, having to push your start date back so that you can try to interview again. And this time you're more stressed, you're more nervous. Invest in your peace of mind so that you can actually be ready the right way. Travis and I created this F-1 visa course, this coaching course for you so that you can help yourselves. You can work at your own pace. You can go back and review the challenging lessons that maybe, takes you 2 to 3 times to review before you start understanding the concepts. And even better, if you're a course student and you buy our ZF Visa Guides course, you actually get exclusive access to a former visa officer, to either me or Travis every other week, in an exclusive question and answer session where if you still have questions after you've taken our course, you can ask us and you can pop in and do mock interviews so that we can help you prepare for this important interview. Okay? So don't ruin your visa record. Don't get multiple denials. Just invest in yourself. It's a couple hundred something dollars. This is your future in the US that we're talking about, and you want to take it seriously. Good luck.